Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a quick unboxing and setup of this 9-foot tall National Tree Company Christmas tree. This tree has the Dunhill look and also is multicolored. So without any further ado, let's open this up and then start setting this thing up. If we could fit it in here, that'll be quite the challenge. So let's get straight into it. All right, so just so you know, this is pretty heavy. So if you guys have a helper, that would probably be ideal. All right, so this is either the bottom or middle section. Looks like the bottom because we have the plug right here. And this is a huge metal pole. If you guys see how much bigger that is compared to like the 6-foot tall trees, it's quite the difference. So let's go ahead and get the rest out. All right, so this is the middle section and I'm noticing something pretty cool. This is the type of tree where it looks like you could just set this straight onto the bottom section and it connects electrically through the center pole. So you guys don't have to mess around with all the wires. Super happy about that. That should make this even easier. This appears to be the third section, same deal, same connector. And with this size tree, we actually have 4 sections. So this is our top piece. It's definitely a lot lighter than all the others. And of course, with a bigger tree, we get a bigger stand. This thing is probably twice as big, maybe a little less than twice as big as some of the other ones. So first things first, we've got to get the base unwrapped. All right, so now we're just going to slide this straight in, and they do have a little screw or bolt right here to tighten the tree to the base to make sure it won't move around. I'll definitely show you guys a closer look at that in just one moment. Now all the branches are on hinges. Looks like one of the wires got a little tangled. Not a big deal. All right, the next section, pretty heavy, but same type of deal. We're just gonna slide it in. And of course, I will be recording a time lapse after this of me fluffing it up and kind of going over how the fluffing process works on this tree, if I like it or not, and if it looks full. All right, I think it's about time to turn the ceiling fan off. So just for reference, I am about 5'10", and this tree is already way taller than me and the top's not even on yet. So this thing is huge, and I think I'll just barely be able to reach up top without a ladder. All right, and the finale. Let's see if we could do this without the ladder. It just barely fits in this room. Like, we are literally touching the ceiling, so I guess this is a 9-foot tall room. All right, so next up, we're gonna do some fluffing on this thing to make sure that it looks nice and full. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the time lapse right now. Overall, I would say that this tree has a very easy fluffing process. It just does take a while just because of how large of a tree this is. On the bottom layers, it's very important to separate the main 3 branches that come down on the hinge. There are smaller branches and then secondary branches that you could extend as well. And I think that really is what makes this tree look so full. All right, so we just got it set up, and I'm not gonna lie, this thing probably took about 45 minutes to fluff up, which was a lot longer than most trees, but it makes sense. This is a very tall tree, and I did have to bring out a ladder to kind of fluff up the top. It wasn't doable from here. But other than that, like, you really could just use a chair if you wanted to. You don't really need a ladder. A chair would have been just fine, but I just had one close by. So let me go ahead and grab the camera, and then we're gonna take a closer look at this thing and then mess around with some of the lighting functions, because this thing has a bunch of lighting options, multicolored lights and white lights. All right, so here is the closer look. I usually start these on the bottom. So here is what the base looks like. It is really big. We still have the little rubber feet on the bottom to protect your floor. There's that little bolt right there that you guys should be able to see that tightens the actual tree to the base. This is what the plug looks like that goes into the outlet, and it looks like it's completely detachable and replaceable if need be. And then this tree does come with a button. So we'll go ahead and turn on the white lights, and this cord is very long. You guys could extend this way more, so you guys have plenty of cord on here, probably the most cord I've seen on any trees. Down here we have some garland on the center, and you guys can see the hinge system, and it works very well. And you guys have hinges on all 4 sections somehow, except like just the very, very top. They started just doing kind of the bendy metal. But here's a closer look at what the branches look like. They're all identical, but they all look very good, in my opinion. You can sort of see like the brown that makes it look like an actual wood branch. And I think that looks really good. This is the Dunhill design, so I guess that's just like the color that they use. Here are the LED bulbs. They're slightly different. They kind of look like the classic design, but they definitely cannot be replaced easily. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I believe that they're using like a RGB LED. So these shouldn't be going out near as much. They should be longer lasting. And because it is RGB, we could press this and now we should get some different colors. So now we have like red and blues, and we could press this again and they'll start fading. And I'll show you guys more lighting functions later on. Once you got to the top of the tree, it was a little difficult to reach. So like I said, have a chair nearby, and the very top few branches, like right there, are just like bendy metal. So you don't have a hinge. You just kind of bend them into place. And right now, only the front side of the tree is fluffed up just for sake of time. So really, if you were to fluff the whole tree and the back, you might be looking at an hour plus, unless if you have some help. So overall, I really like this tree. I think it's about time to do some of the lighting effects. All right, so it looks like we have a little bit more than 10 lighting effects. The first one, just solid white. This is the second one. This is white with like flashing white light bulbs around it, so it kind of sparkles. The second one, we have solid color, and now the color will kind of like sparkle in and out. This one is a mixture of both. It's kind of like more like pastel colors, and I do really like this color wave. Just some other color options again. This one seems to be slightly faster at fading in and out, less sparkly. This is solid white fading in and out. Colors fading in and out. Now we're on to the flashy settings. So these are pretty fun. And now it is off. So we have a bunch of settings on here and they're all really fun. Overall, this tree was really nice and pretty easy to fluff up. So I'm really happy with this, and the overall like fullness looks amazing. It did take a lot longer to fluff up, just because it's such a big tree, but it was definitely worth it and it looks amazing. So this is just my really quick unboxing of the National Tree Company 9-foot tall multicolored tree.